Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Houston Rockets versus Detroit Pistons. The Houston Rockets have dominated their cross-conference matchup with the Detroit Pistons in recent years, winning the last 5 meetings. Detroit's most recent victory came in November 2021, and with the Rockets in good form despite a recent loss to the Thunder, they are favored to cover the spread on the road. So far in the 2024-25 season, Houston has posted a 5-4 record against spread ATS and is a perfect 3-0 ATS following a loss. The Pistons, on the other hand, have covered 50% of their games but have struggled at home, with a 2-3 record against the spread when playing in Detroit. The Pistons' offensive struggles, particularly their low-scoring offense, could be problematic against Houston's well-organized defense. Detroit ranks 24th in the league with an average of 107.9 points per game, which bodes well for the Rockets' defensive approach. Prediction: Houston to cover. Both teams have been stronger defensively than offensively this season. Detroit has allowed an average of 108.8 points per game, the 8th best mark in the NBA, while Houston ranks 11th with 108.9 points allowed. While the Rockets take a lot of shots, averaging an NBA-leading 95.1 attempts per game, their accuracy has been inconsistent, especially from beyond the arc, where they rank 24th with a 33% shooting percentage. Both teams also rank among the bottom 10 in pace, with Detroit averaging 101.6 possessions per game and Houston slightly behind at 100.9. Prediction: under. With both teams focusing on defense and playing at a slower pace, expect this game to be a low-scoring affair, with neither team likely to hit the over. Boston Celtics versus Milwaukee Bucks. The Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks meet again after their recent encounter, where the Celtics secured a 119-108 victory as 9-point favorites. So far this season, both teams have struggled against the spread, with Boston posting a 5-5 record, while Milwaukee is slightly worse at 3-6 ATS. Despite missing key players, including Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown in recent games, the Celtics have managed to perform well. Brown's status is still uncertain for this matchup, while Porzingis remains sidelined. On the other hand, Milwaukee has yet to have Chris Middleton return to the lineup, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has expressed frustration with the team's struggles. With the Bucks looking increasingly out of contention in the Eastern Conference, this is a prime opportunity for the Celtics to assert their dominance. Prediction: Boston minus 2.5 points. With Milwaukee's ongoing injury concerns and Boston's solid track record against them, especially in recent meetings, 6-4 ATS in their last 10, the Celtics are well positioned to cover the spread on the road. These two tallied 227 combined points in their previous meeting, hitting under versus a 232-point total. This season, the under has hit a combined 11 times between the two teams. As prolific as Boston has been on the offensive end, they still rank only 12th in possessions per game, 104, and they only put up 90 field goals last time out. The Celtics have scored 113 points or less in 3 of their last 4 efforts. Milwaukee has a bottom third offense in the league, and they rank just 16th in possessions per game, 102.9 per team rankings. For times this season, the Bucks have been under 110 points and twice under 100 points, including their last game. The under is 4-1 in the last 5 games between these two. Take the under. Prediction: under 229. New York Knicks versus Indiana Pacers. The New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers face off again after a dominant 123-98 Knicks victory in their second game of the season, where New York covered as 4.5-point favorites. In that game, all 5 Knicks starters scored in double digits, with 4 players surpassing 20 points. Indiana shot 49.4%, but struggled from beyond the arc, making just 3 three-pointers. Injuries have depleted their bench, and they only managed 14 points from reserves in their most recent outing. Additionally, New York dominated the boards, out-rebounding Indiana 43-33, an advantage they can exploit again, with Julius Randle and Josh Hart ranking among the league's top rebounders. The Pacers, on the other hand, have no players in the top 30 for rebounding. Prediction: New York minus 1.5 points. With a solid track record against the Pacers, 4-3 ATS in the last 7 meetings, and a more reliable starting lineup, the Knicks are poised to cover the spread on the road. In terms of scoring, the first matchup between these teams went under the total of 228.5 points, and a similar trend may be in store. Both teams sit in the middle third of the league in offensive production, with a combined average of 228 points per game. However, the Knicks play at one of the slowest paces in the league, ranking last in possessions per game at just 97.7, while the Pacers rank 8th with 104.6. New York has struggled offensively in recent games, scoring 116 points or less in 6 contests, while Indiana has also been held under 115 points in 5 games this season. Historically, these teams have hit the under in 4 of their last 6 matchups. Prediction: under 228.5 points. Given both teams' struggles to generate high-scoring outputs in recent games and their differing paces, the total points should stay under the 228.5 point mark. Washington Wizards versus Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic enter this matchup with a clear advantage, especially on the defensive end. With key players like Jonathan Isaac and Wendell Carter Jr. leading the charge, Orlando's defense is well equipped to stifle less efficient offenses like Washington's. The Magic's disciplined defensive rotations prevent opponents from finding rhythm, while their offense, spearheaded by Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner, provides reliable scoring. This balance of strong defense and consistent offense positions Orlando to build a lead and maintain control, making it difficult for the Wizards to catch up, particularly given Washington's inconsistencies on offense. Prediction: Orlando minus 8.5 points. Orlando's ability to dominate defensively, combined with Washington's tendency to struggle with shooting and turnovers, gives the Magic the edge in this matchup. With Orlando controlling the pace and capitalizing on Washington's mistakes, they should be able to cover the spread comfortably. The game is likely to be lower scoring due to Orlando's slow pace and strong defense, as well as Washington's struggles with turnovers, which hinder their offensive efficiency. The Wizards' inability to limit their mistakes will allow the Magic to control possession and limit scoring opportunities. With both teams unlikely to push the total too high, the under is the safer bet. Prediction: under 218.5 points. The combination of Orlando's defensive intensity and Washington's turnover issues suggests a lower scoring affair, making the under a more favorable outcome. Charlotte Hornets versus Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers are in disarray right now, missing 2 of their key players, Joel Embiid, suspension, and Tyrese Maxey, hamstring. With a 5-game losing streak hanging over them, it's hard to trust them as 4.5-point favorites in this matchup. The Hornets, on the other hand, are riding a 2-game win streak, averaging a plus 10.5-point margin of victory. Statistically, Charlotte has been the more efficient team on both sides of the ball, with a slight edge in offensive efficiency, 108.4 versus 105.8, and a better defensive rating, 111.8 versus 115.6. Prediction: Charlotte Hornets plus 4.5 points. Given the 76ers' injury issues and their current struggles, the Hornets have a legitimate shot to keep this game close and potentially win outright. This line feels like a reflection of Philadelphia's name rather than their current form, making Charlotte a solid pick here. Both teams prefer a slower pace of play, with the Hornets averaging 101.3 possessions per game and the 76ers even slower at 99.3. With neither team being particularly prolific offensively, this game is likely to stay under the total. The Hornets have finished under the total in 4 straight games, averaging just 206 points combined in those contests. Prediction: under 222 points. With both teams lacking offensive firepower and playing at a slow pace, the total is likely to stay low in this matchup.